Hey guys, LuckyHD here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Raparalyze, the newest Tanorian inside of Tales of Tanorio, and what the heck is it? In this video, we're going to be going over all of the inspirations, design choices, and more for this Tanorian. If you guys do enjoy this video, go down and like, subscribe, and let's get straight into it. Alrighty, so it seems that the last time that I made one of these videos, you guys really liked it, so again, I'm going to be making another one today instead for Raparalyze, another Tanorian that I created for this update. Just like last video, let's go ahead and start out with the Dex entry. It says, a failed fossil restoration brought back this Tanorian along with a strain of the virus which wiped out its species. This Tanorian has been observed to experience brief periods of complete stagnancy, appearing completely stuck in time, only to regain consciousness and dart off into one direction until it hits a rock or tree and hurt itself. Due to its constant bordering of consciousness and unconsciousness, Raparalyze become more agitated because it cannot fall asleep. So yeah, just like Hallusion, Raparalyze is another fossil Tanorian that was revived with one of the viruses that wiped out its species. This is a common thing, obviously, with all three of these fossils. Basically, the people that are working at this, Alpha Grove research facility, they all need to be fired. I'm not gonna lie, they need to be fired because they keep bringing back all these fossils and they keep messing up on them because they can't separate the virus from the fossil, and they end up obviously fusing together when they're in the reviving process and turning into a completely new Tanorian. Now, obviously, there's a couple of things that says it cannot sleep, and that is obviously shown inside of the design right here with the really big eyes with the very tiny pupil, as well as when you first actually meet Raparalyze. It's kind of sitting there and it's like curled up into a ball and like has its hands over its face and stuff like that. It's basically just always agitated and always freaking out. Now, Raparalyze's name is obviously Raptor and Paralyze because it is a raptor and it's also paralyzed 24/7. And this state of paralysis causes it, again, like it says in the Dex entry, to basically just have really long periods of stagnancy, and then when it wakes up, runs right into a wall or a tree or a rock and ends up hurting itself. And that's why you can see actually inside of the design, if you remove the neck frills, you can see that its neck is completely broken. It just goes down, out, and then back down. And that is again due to the fact that it is running into all these trees and stuff like that, and basically breaking its neck. And that's how it kind of went extinct. They basically just ended up killing themselves, and they couldn't reproduce. So, kind of dark, but I mean, hey, that's the inspiration right there. And while we're here, still looking at this very cursed Raparalyze without its neck fluff, you can actually see on top of the head, obviously, the bump right here. Now, some people called it a tumor, but it's not a tumor, okay? It is actually a little bump from, again, running into all of these walls and stuff. Now, it's more of like a reference to, if you ever, like, see old kind of Tom and Jerry, like, cartoons and stuff like that, you would kind of see the big, like, bump that, like, appears on top of their head after they run into something, right? That's essentially the kind of vibe that I was going for right there. Like, one of the big cartoonishly red bumps. Did I just find a shiny Marmound? I did. Let's go. Anyways, like I was saying, the bump on top of its head is essentially meant to just be a reference to that kind of Tom and Jerry shtick of, running into a wall and getting that big bump on your head. Again, similar concept right here. And I think the red shiny kind of further, like, emphasizes that, with the actual bump right here being red and all that stuff. I will admit, I kind of fumbled on the shiny. It should have been green. I'm not gonna lie. I really wish I made it green. But I saw a lot of people asking what specific type of dinosaur Raparalyze is. Now, Raparalyze is a Dilophosaurus. I believe that's how you say it. You might have seen it from Jurassic Park, okay? Because that was kind of the main inspiration and where, I mean, a lot of people do know it from Jurassic Park. It's the big frilled dinosaur, but it's also kind of a raptor. I essentially blended both of those ideas together, and, when I was actually still in the process of creating it, I reached out to Egg, one of our artists, same person who created all of the final evolutions of the starters and stuff, and asked them, hey, can I get some help with the color palette and just maybe extra design ideas. And they sent back this right here, which was a little kind of concept sketch for their version of Raparalyze, and it is a very cute design, I'm not gonna lie. However, I still needed to kind of maintain the like meth addict energy that I wanted Raparalyze to have. So I did, however, take the frills of it and put it on Raparalyze, but then I was kind of thinking, how can I still turn this into a Dilophosaurus? And that was when I had the idea of just putting some bones on the ends of the frills, or the little kind of neck fluff, and extending them out to make it look like a Dilophosaurus. And you can see that right here inside of the attack animation. When it jumps up like this, the electricity extends out from the fluff, and it kind of makes this little frill pattern right here. And then obviously, you know, it kind of goes like this, shoots out. But basically how I did this is essentially putting a bunch of bones all around the neck right here, and each one of these bones controls a certain part of the electricity fluff. So if I move this and, you know, kind of rotate this, I can end up creating some really cool patterns and, you know, kind of things right here just by moving a couple of these bones. And then as you can see, it creates that pattern of the Dilophosaurus. So that is basically how I did that. And obviously abusing some stuff like the neon, you know, kind of texture and stuff like that allows me to then go inside of the game and abuse this stuff. And as you can see, kind of have that little flare out right there and still make it look really, really good without there being, you know, too many, you know, geometry or shading issues. And obviously before we end up the video, I will share a couple, you know, kind of little sketches and all that stuff during the actual process of creating Raparalyze. Now, originally Raparalyze was going to be a ghost and electric type, and it was going to look, okay, it was going to look like this. Now, if you guys know anything about me, you know I am good at art, I swear I'm good at art, but I do love to do my MS Paint sketches before I create any Tanorian. A lot of good Tanorians have came out, you know, just from this. Drake has came out from this, and obviously, now Raparalyze. Now, originally, again, it was going to kind of look like this with some electric bones and all that stuff because our balancer physics really wanted a ghost and electric type, and I was sitting there conceptualizing stuff, and I just could not make it work, right? Maybe my brain was not working at the time, but I also kind of realized in the middle of it that, hey, this kind of looks like Gleam Halloween Ikazune, so maybe let's not do that, right? So then towards the end, you know, I was kind of figuring out some patterning and stuff, and then we have this beautiful design right here, kind of just sketching out stuff for the end, and yeah. Now we have the beautiful Tanorian known as Raparalyze. And I'll share some even more work in progress pictures that I had sent. Obviously we have this one right here, which was just literally a body and legs. This was before I had the idea of, you know, kind of breaking Raparalyze's neck and making him look like a crack addict. And speaking of crack addict, here was another work in progress thing before all of the frills, where there was not really a texture, just kind of just the electric part and all that stuff, but still, you know, somewhat of a general idea of head shape, you know, kind of proportions, arms, and all that stuff. And yeah, again, as you can tell, I always really wanted to just do the very, you know, cracked out look of just having a very, like, cute but also ugly type of design mixed together, you know, making him just look very sleepless and making him just always awake and always just, you know, like scratching at his neck in the animations and stuff like that. That was a huge part of this design. Again, just making him look as much on drugs as possible. But yeah, it is always a pleasure to make some very silly designs for Tales of Tanorio. Like I said in my last video about Hallusion, you know, I think it is very important to have a wide variety of stuff to design and to conceptualize and create and all that stuff, because I genuinely do think that it makes you a lot better designer. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about Raparalyze down in the comments below, guys. I definitely am very curious to see. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, go down there, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.